guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dick Norris Buick GMC because guess what? The 2020s, they are rolling off the big trucks. This is a refreshed 2020 GMC Arcadia Denali edition. So let's talk a little bit about the Acadia. The Acadia really slots in to GMC's lineup perfectly. It is a go-to for three-row capability in your SUV. The wonderful thing about it is that it's not supersized like so many other SUVs that are three-row that are out there. It's very nicely proportioned. New for 2020 is a refreshed exterior, some nice touches going on there, and then of course the addition of the Acadia AT4, which stay tuned because we will be bringing it to you here from Dick Norris Buick GMC. But let's go ahead, dive into this 2020 refreshed, and there's something on the inside that's all new, Acadia Denali. So right off the bat, you know it's a Denali. Why? Because you need a pair of sunglasses to look at it in the sun. Here's what's new for 2020. All new LED headlight design. It's got LED daytime running lamps, C-shaped. This whole housing is totally different, and what is happening on the inside is updated for 2020. As you come down, here is that shiny chrome bit that is that necessity when you're talking about a Denali trim GMC product. You have some gloss black, and I really like the fog lamps down here. This I'm gonna zonk. I don't know why they had to carry this design all the way up to the corner, and it's a fake vent design, but I do like the lower lighting. I think that gives it obviously more usability at night, but also a nice look to have lights up top and down low. As we come across the restyle grille for 2020, this is a Denali, so it's full chrome. If you don't like the chromed out look, there are other choices, but you have that GMC logo, of course a front-facing camera, and then I don't know if Tom could pick up on this flat black piece here in the lower bumper section. It's got your radar technology, so that adaptive cruise control, every single option is going to be perfect on this one. But across the whole front, that chrome strip goes all the way from one side to the other, and of course that massive chrome grille. Now when we go up to the hood, I like the body lines that are going here. Very nice creases, nice raised section in the middle of the hood, and that's going to give it some extra personality. Now when we come around the bend here, we have an updated wheel for 2020. So I like this style. It's that machined metal finish with the gunmetal gray. Very nice touch. Now if you're wondering, well, what is the size of this wheel? So you're looking at a 20-inch wheel. On the Denali's, 20-inch wheel from top to bottom. When you're looking at the tires, 235 on the width, and it's a 55 series on the sidewall. What I really like is that there's no flat black plastic around the fenders. Really gives it a nice touch. Now, as we come down the side, another new piece for 2020. They took the turn signals and built them into the mirrors. I like the way they take the red onto the mirrors, a little bit of flat black, and then of course on a Denali you're gonna have more chrome trim, a little bit of gloss black, even take the chrome trim onto the handles of the doors with a little bit of the body color. Keyless entry, which is a nice touch. You got that Denali badge stamped in the trim across the lower section. And then as we work our way back, of course, if you have chrome here, you're gonna have chrome on the roof rails. You get your crossbars, and you can put whatever you want on top of your Denali Acadia. Well, almost anything you want. Flat black on the front and the rear of the portion. And then as we come back is the traditional lines. Now, what I like about this back window, the quarter window, first of all, is the size. Second of all, with the addition of the gloss black here, it gives it a nice wraparound look, like it's all one piece of glass. When we get to the back, you have your updated taillight design. Now, one thing I don't like, and I am gonna zonk, is this portion here. I wish they would have maybe shortened it and brought it to right about there with the taillight design, but it's of course full LED, chrome strip for the Denali. Different trim levels have different material, and then as we drop our way down, you got your Acadia badging. You have two functional real exhausts that come out back, that vacuum cleaner style. Normally I would zonk it, but I'm just happy that they're functional. And then you have your Denali badge across the bottom here, stamped into the extra chrome. But new touches for 2020. Let's go ahead and pop the hood and see what we're working with. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the 20 Acadia Denali. If you were wondering, are there any changes underneath the hood? No, not exactly, and I'll explain why. So you're looking at Underneath that little small piece of plastic area is a 3.6 liter V6, 310 horsepower, 271 pound-feet of torque. If you want to tow anything with your Denali, you could tow up to 4,000 pounds. It's got a 9-speed automatic transmission, MPGs around 19 to 20 in the city, 24 on the highway. Now, what is new is not exactly what's underneath the hood. Now, this does have that 9-speed automatic transmission, like I pointed out, but what is going to be all new for 2020, it's a push button style transmission. No longer is there an actual shifter handle. There's no knob. It's actually push button. And I'll be able to show you that in a second, but let's go ahead, fire up this V6 Denali Acadia and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 updated, refreshed, not a total redesign, but refreshed GMC Arcadia Denali. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, Joe, I'm digging this Arcadia Denali. I like the changes. How much? Denali trim, you're looking at around MSRP $46,000. Let's see what we get to the door panels. Now, what I like about the GMC Arcadia Denali is they do use some different colors on the door. I don't like this off-white cream color. I do like that dark gray though at the top of the door panel with the contrast stitching. You do have some wood trim there and then some nice leather on the armrest. I just feel like it's gonna get really dirty really fast, especially if you have kids. This does have the Bose upgraded sound system. Now, what's interesting, when you go from the door panel to the dash, you get plenty more of that dark gray, which I like. I just don't know how it's meshing very well. I would like you to put in the comment section, do you like off-white beige with gray? To me, it's not working, so that's a zonk. The color combo is a zonk, but I do like the contrast stitching. You got more of that wood trim in here and this brushed aluminum finish. Same thing around the infotainment system. This is all unchanged. You have your brushed aluminum finish, you have your 8-inch infotainment. It's got that sliding, nice swipe feature, very easy to use, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You go to cameras, you want cameras, you got tons of cameras on this Acadia Denali. Look at that. Every which way that you could think. I mean, there we are. You got where you could look down where you would have your hitch when you're backing up for your trailer and whatnot. So they definitely have you covered for cameras in this vehicle. Of course, you're gonna have your navigation, same exact setup, a little slow to load, but same exact setup as last year. You got your one fake button in the center, but everything else is functional. Dual climate control that when you adjust it, it also shows up on the screen here, and you can use the touch screen. Here is what's new for 2020, a push button transmission. Now, this is where a lot of manufacturers are going to clean up the whole center console area. Here is my zonk on it. It's got push button for park, push button for neutral. If you want drive or reverse, you actually don't push it, you pull. So you pull for reverse, you push for neutral, you pull for drive, you push for park. I get why they did that. It's more like a safety feature. If you were just reaching down to push, you accidentally pushed the wrong thing. My only zonk for this, it looks very unfinished here. This looks like something somebody bought out of a catalog and then kind of mounted it in here. But it's nice to see that they kind of changed this up to free up this area. You do have wireless charging. You just take your phone and just slide it right there. USBs and a 12 volt. You have more of that nice wood grain finish. You got 2 cup holders. You like key fobs. Here is your GMC Denali key fob. Pretty tasteful. Very nicely done. It's got your remote start and everything, which is nice. Then you have your mode indicator. You could go into different drive modes, which is really wonderful. And then on the Denali trim, of course, you're going to have heated and fully ventilated seats. Nice high armrest with a little cubby right here. You open this up. You got plenty of room in there. No extra connectivity, but it's still nice, soft. And the seats, I don't like the color, but I do like the Denali stitching, the embroidery, and the headrest, and they're very comfortable. I just wish they were a darker color. That's my personal zonk for that. Now, I want to show you something. Now, you do have electric assist for both passenger and the driver side, but here's something that you just don't see on many vehicles. This has got to be the fastest opening sunroof shade I've ever seen in my life. You just push here, boom, 0 to 60 in 0.1 second. 0.1 second. That's how fast that sunshade is. Now what's nice is you don't have panoramic, but you do have a sunroof for up front and a sunroof for out and back. Both of them have to push the button here to open and close the shade. You just push the little thing, boom. My only zonk for that, what happens if you just want it right here? I guess you're just gonna have to drive like this. Maybe people think you're flicking them off or something, but that is my only zonk for that, but it's nice and fast. Here's one thing I do love on the GMC Arcadia Denali. There's Tom right there. And then what we're gonna do is watch this. Bye-bye, Tom. So you have your digital display. I love the digital mirrors. Really helps with visibility. You can see that car, and you could drive with this on, believe it or not. Kind of weird when you do. Kind of freaks your eyes out, but nice to have that option. I'm gonna put it back on me. Looking good. But anyways, coming over to the business end, I'll show you behind the wheel of this 2020 Acadia Denali. All right, guys, business time on this side of the Denali, Acadia Denali. Like I said, the seating position's great. You got plenty of movability for sure. You got 2 memory settings, which is great for the seat, especially if you're sharing this with your best friend or someone that you love. Steering wheel, it's gray finish. I like the texture, I like the material, I like the thickness. You got that nice looking GMC grill horn button. I just don't like these Game Boy buttons. I don't like the way that they look or feel, but they work really well, so that's a plus. You do have electric tilting and telescoping steering wheel, and then check out the gauges. I mean, that really is a nice touch. You have digital in the center, but you have analog tach, analog speedometer, you have some analog coolant, which is very nice, and you even have a digital voltmeter as well. So digital coolant, digital voltmeter, and that display in the center, hold on Tom, don't leave yet. That display in the center also shows, here's your snow mode, very usable in Florida. You got sport mode. I wish the cluster would change. When you go into sport, so many cars, it turns red because you're ready to race, not in the Denali Acadia. And then you have a tow mode, which is very nice. So something to fit every single driving style, every single lifestyle with your Acadia. Also with these buttons, you can scroll through all sorts of different information. But why don't we check out that mid-row and see how your passengers are going to be living in the Denali. All right, guys, mid-row time in the Acadia Denali. More of that cream color interior. And this is, like I said, if you have a family and you have young kids, these things are going to get filthy. At least they're full leather, even the whole back. So I do like the way they're full leather. That's a nice touch. I love this little command center here. So you're going to have heated seats, but not ventilated. You got your AC controls easily placed. You have a home power source, USBs, and then watch this. You get a nice little pull out. You can put your, whoa, don't slide that around, but you can put your Twinkies in here, maybe some ho-hos or something. 2 cup holders, nicely, conveniently placed, and then you can hide it, put everything back. My zonk, you know what it's gonna be, these captain's chair arms. Now, somebody brought up a point. They said, if somebody wants to walk through here, that's gonna take up extra real estate. I'm not asking for an armrest this wide, okay? I'm just asking for something a little bit wider because as you can see, it's not gonna fit me. And being 6 feet tall, the great news is I got plenty of headroom, both up front and in the mid row. You got that nice sunroof. AC vents are conveniently placed for the rear passengers in the ceiling, which is really smart. And the seats are comfortable. They recline and everything. So, and you can slide them as well. So they do have you covered there. Let's go ahead, check out that third row and see if a 6-foot Joe Rady can get back there. All right, guys, third row time. Let's see if adults can fit back here. You actually lift up, drops down. That's as much space as you got. So that to me is a zonk right there. I'll even pull, there you go. There's your full space that you have to squeeze back there. So now I'm gonna squeeze. What's nice is there is plastic for your foot so you don't wear out that carpet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get on in. Put the headrests up, that's always a must. You know what? My knees are not too high, so that's a big plus. I do have AC in the back. You got your cup holder, but watch. Finally, another company besides some of the other brands that we've been in has a USB back here. So that is a nice touch for that third row passenger. If their device dies, why should I have to rely on the mid row people? I want my independence back here. And you get it with a USB power supply source. But why don't we go ahead, check out that cargo area and see how usable of space this Acadia has. All right, guys, time to open up the rear tailgate, see what kind of room we have in the Acadia, obviously it's going to be electric assist. You open up, here's what we're working with room-wise. So you got about enough room for a stroller. You could take your groceries and kind of line them up. Even with the third row, you do have a 12 volt, which is a very nice touch. And there's a really large cubby over there, pocket, which is great to see. Now, when it comes to actually dropping the seats, you're just gonna pull on this strap and then you're just gonna push it down. It doesn't need to be any more or less complicated than that. Nice and flat. Obviously that mid row is gonna drop down as well, but that's probably gonna be one of my favorite parts about the Acadia. You got 2 storage cubbies down there. You could hide some gifts maybe from your kids if they've been doing good in school. Have you been doing good in school? Ask them. They should be getting A's. You could give some gifts. This could be like the gift box in the back of the Acadia. The great news is to put them back. That's all it is. We don't have to mess around with buttons and power assist. Up and down, 1, 2, 3. Look at that. And then of course you push that and now we're ready to rock and roll. If you're ready though, I'm ready. Let's take this Acadia Denali for a spin. We're rolling out of Dick Norris Buick GMC in Palm Harbor, Florida. We're in, like we were been talking about, that 2020 Acadia Denali. Remember, for 2020, it has been refreshed. Inside, I do like the way it opens up the center console area because now we have that push and pull button transmission. That 9-speed shifts so effortlessly. It's almost like there's no gears in the gearbox. That's how smooth the transmission shifts, which is really what you come to expect in any GMC product that has that Denali name associated with it. The ride in this also very, very nicely done. Super smooth. The seats, because they're electric assist and because there's like so many different ways to position into your body, you can get it just perfect for your body type, to where you could drive this easily hundreds and hundreds of miles and not feel any fatigue from being sore behind the steering wheel. Visibility is great, and like I pointed out earlier, if you're having passengers in that third row and they're taking up a lot of the real estate, you could put on that digital rear view mirror and not have to worry about anybody being in your view, and you can drive with that on. My advice is get used to it because it's just a little weird to have that camera right there as you're driving, but once you get used to it, it's no big deal. Dash, I like in the Denali trim how they have that nice large TFT display, nice clear graphics for the speedometer and everything. But pulling away from this light, very, very smooth. 9-speed automatic transmission connected to that V6. A little acceleration test. Right now we're about 18 miles an hour on throttle. The 9-speed quickly drops down. It is a little noisy from the V6, but really picks up pace very quickly. Remember, if you want to tow with your Acadia Denali, you're looking around 4,000 pounds that you could tow very easily with this setup. But just, I think this is a great SUV in this segment if you want something that has all the bells and whistles, especially when it comes to safety, but it's not a large vehicle, so to speak, compared to some of the other either GMC products or other brands. One actually just drove by us, so just interesting how proportioned the body is, and it doesn't feel like a large vehicle too when you're behind the wheel, which is very important. Feedback, steering, it feels pretty much on point. There's just a little bit of play, but you know, something that you would expect in an SUV, this type of setup. And I do like the way they have different drive modes. I think that is a nice addition that allows you, especially if you live in climates where you're going to have snow and ice on the road, it would be nice to adjust that. And then of course, by going into the different modes, it's going to adjust all the parameters on how the car operates, which is really, really nice. Brake feedback is great, and just overall a very, very smooth, comfortable driving SUV. All right guys, pulling away from this light, I think probably my favorite part of this Acadia Denali is just how smooth it is. And definitely visibility is really nice. The way they pull the A-pillars out of the way, I got a nice view out over the hood. And you know what? The mirrors, even though they're not the largest, they do give you a great visibility out both sides. It's very easy to get your bearings while you're behind the wheel of this Acadia Denali. But hopefully this gave you a nice roundabout drive experience of what this vehicle is about. It's got some nice touches that are new for 2020. You definitely got to come and experience this push and pull button transmission. One of the first that I've ever seen with that type of setup, rather than straight up push button or a knob like a lot of the Ford products have. But we're gonna go ahead, get back to Dick Norris Buick GMC, and I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful day once again here at Dick Norris Buick GMC. I definitely got to thank Adam, Spencer, Melvin, Andrew, the rest of the crew here, allowing us access to these 2020 GMC products like this Acadia Denali. What can I say? It gives you a viable option for 3-row passenger capability in an SUV that's not the size of a large yacht. But if these are the types of vehicles that you want to see on Ready's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Takes you right to Spreadshirt. Get yourself some Ready's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moschner. We had a lot of fun reviewing this, comparing it to other SUVs. Check them out on Instagram at Mosh Photos. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.